Maddog. What? We only fuck with the Maddog. Maddog. What? We only fuck with the Maddog. Get your reviews from the Maddog. Subscribe to the Maddog. Like Maddog. I only fuck with Maddog.
Like they was trying to conceal him, y'all should have kept that Mac low. They said I can't punch. Well, watch Lil Mac get Glass Joe. See punchlines, schemes. See punchlines, schemes, boom. I bought it all, Mac. I double dare you to get the clip for some views.
You gotta hold it down though, y'all. Hold it down. Let him rap. Let him rap. Let him rap, let him rap. Give it up, Malcolm.
That's cool. Good shit, my nigga. I gotta give you that. When people choke, they talk preparation, right? No, I talk real life. You bloggers, y'all the one that's fucking up battle rap.
No Man Don't Kill a Son. Third Eye Movement. You know, Mad Noise Productions. Fresh off of that pay-per-view. Starting 5 RBE. Yo, cop that shit on Rap Grid. You know, cop that shit on Rap Grid. It's in black and white, but you know, the footage is crisp. It's clear. You know, it's $35. But like if you went to the movies and you took somebody, you'd spend $40. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you contributing to hip hop in a lane that you like. You know, sometimes you gotta put some dollars behind it. You can't always wait to see something for free. Anyway, yo, I want to jump right into this. There's gonna be two things I want to talk about. One is gonna be about the first battle. The other thing is gonna be about the last battle, the Danny Myers and Swave 7. But the Ooops Mac Myron battle. Yo, Ooops choked like every round. And Mac Myron won it outright. I mean, Mac Myron was solid in the first, solid material in the second. You know what I'm saying? Kind of went at Ooops, you know, under the belt a little bit with the cancer stuff. But, you know, Ooops put the cancer out there, and it's battle rap. So people, it's supposed to hit below the belt. So I had no problem with that. The problem that I had, and I'm going to cut right to the chase, was, you know, Ooops is coming off of probably the second worst choke next to Rosenberg choke. But
you Lil Durk, I'm Big Durk. You know Nowinski, and I don't like you niggas. That's just the Hogan in me. Bars. Bars. Cause he done got under my skin. I ain't fuck with you now and I ain't fuck with you then. I put a smoking barrel under your chin. Bullets flying faster than the speed of light. Now can you run with the wind? I said bullets flying faster than the speed of light. Now can you run with the wind?
he handles it horrible. He comes off the choke in the third round, and then he says, you know, like, you bloggers, all you do is talk about people choking and stuff and not being prepared. And it's like saying, yo, you bloggers is messing up battle rap. And I'm like, looking at Ooops, like, how could you've been around for a while, and you might have just said something because you was mad, or just, you might have said it because you wanted it to rhyme or something, but, you know, to be honest with you, it's like, first of all, okay, I'm a fan first because I spend my money on battle rap. I go to events. I do the pay-per-view. I support you by giving you views, showing up in person. We talk about you. That's support as a fan. Giving you views. That's support. All right? Coming to the events. That's support. So, and that's first and foremost. That's what I am. Then, I'm a blogger, secondly. So blogging is just an amplified way of being a fan. That's all it really is. It's just you taking yourself as being a fan, and now you're making it bigger. Like you speaking through a blowhorn or something. You know what I mean? That's all a blogger does. And a fan has an opinion, and a blogger has an opinion. A blogger's opinion is usually bigger than just a fan because they have an audience. So with all of that being said, when you say bloggers is messing up battle rap and you're not being prepared, bloggers have nothing to do with that. You still need to be prepared. Bloggers don't choke. You still have to show up at an event. Bloggers don't have to show up at an event. We can sit at home and watch the event. So we don't have to be prepared or have fresh material or worry about recycled material. You got to worry about that. That's something that you do. You're the entertainer. You're the entertainer. We're the commentator. We play different roles. So as long as you do your role, we have to do our role. The better you are, the better we'll be. I just don't agree with the angle that because you're messing up on stage, you want to blame the bloggers like we're getting in your head. That just is a testament to your concentration of what you have going on in your life. It has nothing to do with bloggers. As far as I'm concerned, you're the paid professional. And that's a message to Ooops, straight up. You know, man, don't kill us, son. Word up. Anyway, so I got Mac Myron winning that 3-0. Enough on that. Oh, you know what? There's a difference how you handle chokes, too. There's a difference how you handle chokes. So I interviewed Rosenberg Raw after he choked. On
a battle on a bad moment, so I'm a little frustrated. I ain't get to come in and get a second round that I had prepared. But you know, that happens to the best of us. What you got to do in that situation is be able to finish the show and not let it dwell on you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I take out of it is I finished strong. You feel what I'm saying? Right. It's almost like starting off the game 3 for 3, and then you mix your next 7 shots. You know what I mean? You get to the 4th quarter, you still gotta finish strong. You know what I mean? That's what people expecting out of you. So man, just besides the little fuck up, the big fuck up I had in the second round, I caught a brain fart. You know, the battle was pretty smooth. You know.
Well, to keep it 100, Jay Murder stumbled or choked in the third.
He choked in the third, but the difference was he racked longer than me before the choke. My choke was early in my second. His choke was in the middle of his third. Right. So. You know, and he did better than me. Like I looked like I was fucking up at that point in time. He looked like he got it back. Nobody,
he didn't say crowd or anything. I respect Murder, man. He said, "Yo, I fucked up. I messed up." You know what I'm saying? I should have handled it different. And I was even trying to say, well, you know, Jay Murder messed up in the third, and he broke that shit down. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Nah, I choked in the beginning of my round. Jay Murder choked like in the middle or the end of his. You know, at least he got through most of his shit, and he got it back." So salute to Rosenberg for being a man and speaking up for what he did wrong and handling it like that. I could respect that, you know. But you know, I interviewed Ooops and he talked about choking and he was like, "Yeah, you know, we choke different." He was talking about him and Bourne choking different, and you know, when he chokes, when Bourne chokes, it's all
that's it.
Up.
He got no personality. Okay. He got no real shit. He not believable. He can't capture that crowd, capture that stage. It's a difference. It's a difference even when we choke. When he choke, he get killed. When I choke, it's
like, all right, but watch the rest of the battle.
Watch him bounce back.
Right.
Yeah, so
now you come back with this. I don't know. It's like, it's hypocritical. Y'all see. So, Jay Murder versus JC. I think this could be a preference battle. I wasn't in the building, so I wasn't able to feel the crowd on how Jay Murder's bars was hitting. Go and look at it online, and I'm telling you, it's a different experience when you're there versus looking at it on camera. So I understand if there's major controversy in the building. When you look at it on cam, it's kind of clear to see. JC's bars is clear. They're to the point. They're well orchestrated. You know what I'm saying? JC has some simple bars and bars set up, but they just make so much sense, and it's so cool the way his delivery is just A1 that, you know, he can say simple as, we don't just take you out of memory lane, we take it memory lane out. He can say something that's simple, but the way how he delivered it is like, oh, that was dope. You know what I mean? And then he said, you fabricate your lines more than LeBron LeBron's barber. That shit was funny as hell. I think when you think about JC versus J Murder, the first thing you think about is JC is just a little bit more polished and just a little bit more better with his total package as a battle rapper. And J Murder is not too far off. All right, J Murder has a lot of he has a lot of swag and a lot of believability, and he just sounds like an OG gangster in the game. And I think he knows that, and it's good. He was trying to bully JC a little bit, but JC is not a nerd. For all of those that JC is not some punk nerd. When you see him in person, he's not like some geek. JC's, you know, JC to me he look like he's about that life, and he's believable enough. All right, he's just a small dude. He's just a small dude, but he's believable enough. I know they clown on him for dancing and shit, but it is what it is. Anyway, I got that one. I got that one 2-1 JC. You know, I could give J Murder the second round. Big Cannon XL. Yo, XL made my Dirty Dozen. XL said some nice lines in a battle. But XL doesn't build momentum. Like, I was trying to think, what is going on with XL that hasn't fallen short? His stage presence is not quite there yet. And his delivery is inconsistent. Like, he'll deliver a hot bar, and then he'll deliver another bar that's like, okay. He'll deliver a decent bar, and then he'll deliver a bar that's okay. And it's like, it's almost like he has you on a respirator sometimes, you know, just keeping you alive. You feel me? And I wish that XL could find a way to build momentum and keep climaxing upwards and get the whole crowd behind him with some crazy shit. And it's like he talks into the crowd a little too much. I would like for him to rap sometimes through it and get into a rhythm and build his setups to a nice punch. But it's almost like he has to talk and, you know, you say this and I say that, you know, and it's like,
When I was done,
yo, just
said she
hit
loved
me
me.
with some
And asked if I was hungry, because I was dripping sweat. I told her yes, baby. And then she bought gravy and biscuits. Fresh. Then all I hear is my phone ring and I go clean out of the dream. Now I'm a bit upset. You done got me out the bed for this shit. I don't get the vision yet. I go from ripping vets to battling Sam Cassell. It's total disrespect. So tonight, Key, is just do it. So you can get the check. But am I poor? No, because I'm getting paid triple X. I'll give in seven.
Big Cannon was too much for him. The name flips was ridiculous. Big Cannon's performance was so dope that he not only had the whole crowd going, he had Team Hami going behind XL. The whole Team Hami was laughing behind XL. That's to tell you how much Big Cannon had his momentum going, his bars going. He pulled out the full repertoire on XL. You know, like, if this was a gun match, XL had like a 22, and Big Cannon he lived up to his name. He had like 100 round, you know what I'm saying? He had like 100 round cannon just going off on this dude until there was nothing left. I don't know. You wanted to call timeout. You wanted to know if Big Cannon had it. Big Cannon, XL needed a big brother. That's what he needed. XL needed a big brother. But salute to XL. Salute to Big Cannon 3-0. Was it a body is going to be a question. Hey, you might consider it a body because when the footage drop, you're going to want to see, you're only going to want to go through Big Cannon's performance. You may not want to see a whole lot of XL's performance. And not to say XL was whack. It's just that Big Cannon's performance was just so good. He was very witty, funny. The bars was hitting, his setups was hitting, and then when you thought it was a punch, it was like another punch even stronger than that. So I don't know. I got Big Cannon 3-0. You know, you could probably call it a body. So that leaves Writer's Block 2-1. You know, the Mac Myron Oops battle was like, it was light. It's like the lightest battle, and Oops could have made that battle more significant. And because of his performance, it almost made that battle, like I was saying in my prediction, Like, if they don't show up, who really cares? It's like the other 4 battles really going to turn everybody's head on where we at. But let's just call it 2-1 going into the Moneybags B Magic battle. And Moneybags, if you think about it, had a lot of pressure on him. The momentum is flowing towards Writers Block. JC had a solid performance. I mean, to come on after Big Cannon's performance was ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And you got to remember that. When you're sitting in the crowd, you got to remember they just saw like this dope-ass performance. And now you going on after that. Even though you're battling B Magic, you're going on after a dope performance. B Magic had a lot to live up to, and B Magic chokes in the first round. I mean, chokes like within the first minute or so, he chokes. He had a nice Moneybag scheme, but chokes in the first round. Moneybags is spazzing in the first round, saying, you know, I guess B Magic got into some fight when Fox choked him or whatever. And he had a Fox 5 line.
Yo, the Stitches couldn't hold his cheek together after he got hit with the ox. Now that Doc got a butt in his face like Vivica Fox. Boy, speaking of Fox, I heard you can't fight, Magic. It was not live. Don't put your hands back when it's time to counter. It's not clockwise. Hey, yo, I thought it was B motherfucking Magic, the one with the biscuit like Popeyes. Ironic St. Louis all over the news, but he wasn't able to get Fox.
Bags has been spazzing on people. All right. I want to say Bags is 6-0 his last 2 battles between Cyborg and now B Magic. Bags, you need to dedicate some more time to battle rap for sure. Anyway, so the second round, B Magic stumbles. The first round he chokes. The second round he stumbles. But his whole tempo and cadence was off. It was like he was just off that whole round. Moneybags was talking that street shit. Second round, Moneybags talking that street shit. And swinging for the fences. Third round, B Magic stumbled a little bit in the third and finished short to me. He finished short. He stumbled a little bit in the third, finished short. And we all know Moneybag's third round was ridiculous. You know, he had the 7-Eleven metal line, crazy. The hot dog metal line. He had the PH, I'm cooking this nigga. He had some shit. And Jay Murder had that line, you know. Anyway. So the controversy is this last round, and I think what happened was Danny Myers walked into it. Swave 7 was smart. He used his own lines against him. And because he used his own lines against Danny Myers, when he said King of Harlem, it was almost like the Karate Master when he takes your energy and turns it around against you. Except Swave 7 is taking Danny's bars and lines and turning it against him. And it even made what Swave was saying even more powerful and more impactful. And they have this thing when you're a presenter and you involve the crowd, you get the ultimate out of your presentation. And that's what Swave 7 did. He had the whole crowd into his bars and his lines, and you could just feel him more. You know, he had more quotables at the end. There was a lot more going on with his third round. Now, when you talk about third rounds, obviously Luck's third round against Calico is a big one. A-Verb's third round against Hitman. And I'd put Swave 7 just under those two. You know, his third round was dope. If you go the conventional way and you want to say, oh, well, Danny won the first 2 rounds and basically the battle's over because it really don't matter what happens in the third, but then why have a third round? Just think logically. If you say something is going 3 quarters, like hockey or basketball, right? Let's just say basketball was 3 quarters. And you say, okay, the first 2 quarters, you score whatever points, you're winning. I score 10 points, you score 12 points. I score 10 points, you score 12 points. You're winning the first 2 quarters. And in the third quarter, I blow you out. I score 20 points, you score 2. I could win the game by outscoring you in a particular quarter. Well, what's so different about battle rap? It's like boxing, nigga. It's like boxing. A 12-round bout. You could be winning round 1 all the way to round 11. 10-8. And then the 12th round, first of all, they wouldn't have a 12th round unless you could win. right? So that's 1. 2, the 12th round, you get knocked out. Nobody in the world talks about your first round to your 11th round if you get knocked out in the 12th. It's like you lost. It's unanimous. Nobody says, oh, well, he knocked you out in the 12th, but you won all 11 rounds, so you won the fight. No, nigga, you got knocked out, period. So I think what the judges are saying is battle rap is starting to make this transition where they're starting to say, look, it's 3 rounds for a reason. You could win the first 2 rounds, but don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out in the 3rd. And when you think about it, the 3rd round is a knockout round. I wouldn't want somebody to say, oh, he got a knockout in the 1st, or he got a knockout in the 2nd. Nobody says, oh, his first round was so fire, it didn't matter what happened in the other 2 rounds. It is the 3rd round. The 3rd round is what's memorable, it's what people walk away with. It's like, yo, if your 3rd round is like that shit, that fire, you could walk away with a victory. You could think about it. Sway 7 choked in the 1st. And they saying that he won. Who else did that? Legendary status, right? Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux choked in the 1st. Had a legendary 3rd round. Won the battle, right? Against Calico. Think about it. Think about it. Swave 7 choked in the 1st. Lost the first 2 rounds. Arguably lost the first 2 rounds. And then the 3rd round, smashed. Knockout. Same thing happened with, Loaded Lux versus Calico. Lost the 1st round. 2nd round could go either way. 3rd round, knockout blow. Knockout blow. And I'd go even Chess. Only reason he's not a legend, he don't have the name. But I swear, if Chess was a legend, his performance that he was going with on DNA, people just saying, yo, that choke. And all that, yeah, but the choke, once you take the choke out of the equation, the next 2 rounds he was going in. Anyway, that's a whole nother debate. So, the only thing I don't like, Danny Myers said a lot of good things in his Angry Fans radio interview. And shout out to Caps, shout out to Angry's Fan. Yo, Caps, I see what you're doing. Salute to you, my brother. You definitely, to me, you in that lead spot right now, man. I'm keeping it real. You in that lead spot right now. Anyway, I think Danny Myers hurts himself when he says stuff like he got robbed. He was talking truthful about a lot of things, but when you say that you got robbed or someone robbed you, you almost come across as sounding a little salty, even though you're saying you're not trying to sound salty. It does come across that way.
Solid round.
Okay.
Now, the 3rd round is on Swave, and he comes with the angle of, oh, you the King of Harlem angle. He basically was like, oh, nigga, how dare you? He had this theme, like he kept saying, how dare you? And the crowd was saying it with him. The whole team, the whole building. The energy is different now. Now he done turned up. Because I feel like he kind of knew, like, this was it. Like, nigga, you already, like, it's looking like 2-0 already. Real shit. Like, you got to do something. Because, like, his first 2 rounds, his energy wasn't even there. Like, he wasn't even the normal Slave y'all used to seeing. Like, his energy was low. Now, this 3rd round, he turns into a demon.
Okay.
And he starts breaking down the King of Harlem shit. He's like, nigga, how the fuck you gonna say you the King of Harlem? I should take you to Big L grave and make you eat dirt from it. Nigga. Yo, this nigga said, I should take you to 125th and drag you down and look at the blood stains in my rear view. He's going in. He's going in. Then he breaks down the, oh, you and Vic, you and your wife.
Was it whack his first 2 rounds? Was it kind of whack?
I won't call him whack. No. Let's not do. We not gonna do Swave like that.
No, was it kind of whack or what?
It was I would say subpar, mediocre. I would say mediocre. I would go with mediocre as the best way I can be fair, because it wasn't great. Believe me, his first 2 rounds wasn't great material, and y'all can watch it for yourself and quote me on this. It wasn't great material. It was okay. It was mediocre. Meanwhile, because me and Sway both agreed on the judges, which were Shada, the co-owner of RBE, J 400 Block, that Shotgun Suge Man. There was Bones Briganti, there was Tom Gish, and then there was Jazz the Rapper. Okay? So, me and Swave and ARP all agreed on those judges. So I'm not even complaining about the decision. So I'd say, hey, that's what they call it. That's what they call it. That's the official call. So Swave got the battle. But if you ask me my personal, how I personally feel, I thought I won the battle as well as if you look at the Twitter and the Facebook post, it was like everybody had me winning 2-1. So I could see if it was just, I could see if it was just Danny, the only nigga saying he won, and 100% of everybody else saying Sway. Well, now it looks like Danny's just salty because the decision didn't go his way. Before even entering the battle, I already knew like the odds was against me anyway because I'm battling a New York legend in New York, and all the judges are from New York. Now, and I say if you put the shoe on the other foot, if Slave comes to the West Coast and battles me on the West, and he has nothing to choose from but West Coast judges, and they give me the battle, how does Slave feel? And I'm not even going to be mad at the judge's decision if they give Slave the battle. But you can't, niggas, like, I just felt I got robbed. That's my personal opinion. But shout out to ARP, shout out to the judges, shout out to Slave. Now, like I said, I officially have to take that loss because that's what the judges say. But if you ask me, my personal, I won that battle. I won that battle. In my heart of hearts, I won that battle. And I wonder how Sway really, really feels. I'm sure if he was on the phone, he would say. All I would say is, like, be graceful. Learn, some of the best chess players is the ones that took the most L's. So just learn from your L. Don't sit there and be like, yo, I got robbed. Look at what the internet is saying. I won the first 2 rounds. Just winning the first 2 rounds does not mean that you won a battle. They would not have a 3rd round unless it meant something. And people are finally coming around to realizing that. If you lose a 3rd round in battle rap, if you lose it bad enough, it doesn't even matter sometimes what happened in the 1st and 2nd round. If they knock you out in the 3rd, if you get knocked out in the 3rd, and that's what people remember, and that's the quotables, you gotta accept that as a man. But shout out to RBE, shout out to Shotas and Lawrence and the whole RBE squad. You know what I'm saying? For having a successful event. I mean, if you think about it from a league standpoint, going into the final battle, ending to a event like that, that's what you want. 2-2 going into the last battle with the most important battle yet to happen. So it was almost perfect. It was masterful. From a league standpoint, that I hope when they drop the battles in the order of the way that it went. Shout out to Caps, Angry's Fan Radio, and Tom Big. Subscribe to their channel, man. Real talk. Subscribe to their channel. They doing their thing. A salute. I see what you're doing, Caps. You said you was gonna do it.
RBE. Maddog Killer TV, man. They came and fuck with me. Soon like off the stage, man. Throw nigga, I fuck with him, man. I give it up for him.
Shout out to TV, man. You already know, man. Fuck with him. Get fucked like it.
Maddog Killer TV. I know it is. Brooklyn, what that is.
Know it is, man. Arsenal Rebel, a.k.a. Balls.
Respect.
Maddog Killer. Shout out
Maddog Killer TV. It's your boy Jims, man. Rich Block.
Beyond that. Third eye, thoughts wise, keep it listen, see. Maddog stand for authenticity.